Hello, it is Monday and welcome to a new weekly reading vlog. I was literally sitting here about to start vlogging and Hamish decided he needed a drink, so I've had to wait for him to finish drinking so that you don't have to listen to that. But he's back now and he's going for a wee lie down. You going for a lie down? He's going for a lie down. Yeah, it is Monday. It is a new weekly reading vlog and I will be reading Infinite Fates to start off. I said this in last week's vlog, I do have a physical copy, but this is a misprint and there are pages missing. So I've got the ebook to read until my replacement copy comes. And yeah, it just means I'll be able to actually read it. I couldn't believe it when I got that email saying that it was misprint. I'm so sorry. Like, this light white balance is not working very well. This week's going to be a bit of a, probably not that interesting for you, but this is kind of the last week before I have to do something about my surgery, but this will be where I am actually going to have to do something kind of about my surgery. So I'm due to get surgery. I've had my pre-op assessment. Everything's ready to go. I'm just waiting on the hospital. Now, I would much rather have this full surgery, do it once, get it done properly, but it has been 3 months, November to December, January, 3 months since I saw the surgeon, and that was after my last surgery had healed up. So 3 months since I saw the surgeon, and he said, yeah, definitely need surgery again. 2 months since I did my pre-op, and my doctor said that they usually have to do the surgery within 2 months, or the goal is to do the surgery within 2 months of your pre-op, so that all the numbers and stuff are accurate, or as accurate as they can be. And the end of this week is the 2 month mark from that. However, the problem is, so I had an abscess, it started off as an abscess, and I had the surgery 15 years ago where they cut out the area where the abscess was because it kept coming back. And then earlier last year, oh my god, it's almost been a year. So March, April and May. So March, April, May and June last year, that's 4 months in a row. March, I went to the doctor because it flared up for the first time in years, 15 years. And they were like, yep, you need antibiotics. So they gave me antibiotics. Took 2 weeks of antibiotics. Got 2 weeks, finished that. 2 weeks later, start of April, it came back again. So I went back to the GP. She tried different antibiotics. Again, 2 weeks in the antibiotics. 2 weeks afterwards, start of May even, it came back again. So my GP decided, right, time to send you to the hospital because this is going to need surgery. So off to the hospital I trot. I wait 13 hours in the hospital. I get told by a surgeon that it doesn't need surgery and they'll give me antibiotics. That's 3 months in a row at this point with antibiotics. I told her it wouldn't work. She said, let's just try it. Because if I tell you to come back in tomorrow, then the surgeon that's on tomorrow is probably not even going to bother to do the surgery. I did not like that surgeon. She was not very nice. She did not have a very good bedside manner. She was just in a mood, apparently. And I'm not saying that because she said no to me. Genuinely, she was so rude to me while I was in there. I'd been in there for hours. I 2 months, this is the 3rd month that I'd been having bother with it. I tried antibiotics. It's not like I just went, oh, fancy a wee trip to the hospital. It's not like I was there for shits and giggles, you know? And she was not very nice. She was not very nice. And also got annoyed at me because she couldn't draw blood and then she let go of the one when she did get blood. She'll let go of it to go get something and it came out because it wasn't taped in, and then she got annoyed at me. Like it was my fault. And yeah, so she sent me home with antibiotics after 13 hours waiting in the hospital. I ended up having to try and sleep on one of the beds because I felt so sick. I didn't get out of hospital until because by the time she said to me that they were just going to give me antibiotics and send me home, it was like 10 o'clock. And I ended up not leaving the hospital until nearly 2 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah. I was not in a good place. I was not great. I went to McDonald's. I hadn't eaten it either, because you have to be nil by mouth if you're getting surgery. So I hadn't eaten or drank anything either. So I went to McDonald's because I was like, F this. Took the antibiotics. 2 weeks on antibiotics. Guess what? Didn't work. 2 weeks later, back at the doctor's. I was raging that they didn't do surgery. Sent me back, saw the surgeon, who was the registrar surgeon, instead of, I think the registrar's like the higher level surgeon. Anyway, and who was also my boss's surgeon when she had to have surgery, which was funny. I didn't know that until the other day when we were talking about it. And yeah, he took one look at it and went, that's going to need surgery. He's like, right, so you've got a choice. You can stay in overnight, or you can go home and come back in the morning, and we'll get you into surgery. And I was like, can I go home and come back in the morning? He was like, yeah, off you go. So I went home, came back the next morning, and they basically took me straight into surgery. And I had to do a 3-month sort of review afterwards to see how the surgery went. Because it's emergency surgery, it's not the full surgery, so they have to review it to see if it's going to need further surgery. As I said, he decided it did need further surgery, which then meant I went on the general surgery list. Now, that was 3 months ago that I had my review in November. Like I say, 2 months ago that I had my pre-op assessment. And not only has it come back, there's now two holes. I thought there was one. There was one hole that started burrowing into my flesh. And now there's two. And even the doctor was like, oh, because I had to go back and get antibiotics again last month. Because it was, last month. Because it was, it's infected again. So, discussed it with, it's funny because my PT and my boss both said, you need to get onto them, you need to phone them and say to them, like, you need to see me because this is getting worse. And I'm like, I'm that person that'll just leave things to get really, really bad before I do anything. But me and my boss sort of had a discussion about it, and I decided that the 15th, so the end of this week, would be my cut-off date. So I phoned, that's what I should have said, sorry. I phoned my boss convinced me to phone the surgeon's secretary. I actually phoned the pre-op assessment unit because she said, the nurse that was there said if I had any questions to give them the phone. So I phoned them, explained to her what was happening, and she was like, I think you should speak to the secretary as well. So she put me through to the secretary. I spoke to the secretary. She explained that the reason they can't do surgeries is because there's no beds, so they can't actually get anybody in to do surgery. Surgeons are basically just kicking their heels. And her suggestion was that if it's kind of getting too bad, that I would need to go through the emergency process again. So have another surgery. The same surgery that I had back in June. I think I had the surgery, I'm pretty sure I had the surgery in June. It was 3 months post-healing. Post sign-off of it healing, that was what it was. So I spoke to her. She suggested that I would need to go back through the emergency thing if it's going to be needing done again, because it might be that I get, like, it just continues to get worse, and obviously it's not great. So then I spoke to my boss about it, and she convinced me that, she was trying to get me to go to the doctor there and then. Just to say, my working in no way pressuring me to not have surgery or not take time off. They are like all behind me, being like, they need to see you, like the surgeons need to see you. So I made an agreement with her that I would wait until the 15th. She was making me, like, see the doctor. Like, I'm the one that's trying to put it off. Once it gets to the 15th of February, which is my 2-month mark post pre-op assessment, I would contact the doctors and start the process again for having the emergency surgery. So, yeah, end of this week, if I've not had a letter through, I'm going to have to, on Monday, speak to the doctor, see about going back to the hospital and getting an emergency surgery, which will then have to be followed up by a proper surgery. Hopefully it won't affect my place on the list, but it is getting to the point where it is painful, it is difficult to, like, do day-to-day things, it's getting difficult to sleep because of the pain, and it's constantly just bleeding, and it's horrible, it's painful, it's, yeah, not great. So that's what the week is looking like for me, hoping that I'll get a letter through saying I'm having surgery so that I can avoid having a second surgery. But yeah, so I'll keep you updated on that one. And then obviously next week if I have to phone the doctor and go into surgery, I'll take you along with me. But hopefully by then we'll have finished Our Infinite Fates. And I don't know what I'll read next. I might switch and do my historical fiction rather than another romance, just to have a little pivot. But we shall see. Hello, it is Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. Wow, this day has felt like a week. Yeah, so I jinxed myself last night when I was speaking to you. So first I'll say I finished Our Infinite Fates. I've just finished it, and I'm not gonna lie, I am like tearing up a little bit. This was so good. Like the whole time I was like, what are we doing? What's going on? I didn't understand it at all. Like it's meant to. It's like you don't know what's happening until the end, and yeah, that was really good. I really liked it. I think it probably, I think I thought it was an adult book, but it's actually a YA. I would probably class this more as a YA. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I read it on Kindle, which was great because I got through it so fast. Well, it was great because this is missing pages. I found a section of it where there's missing pages. I will show you. I'm just getting ready to go to the doctor's. There we go. So there's actual like missing pages. They're just blank. So yeah, I am getting ready to go to the doctor's. After saying that I was going to contact them next week, I have gotten to the stage where the pain and the symptoms are too much. I have been so feverish all day today, like struggling with how hot I am, and then all of a sudden at one point my temperature just went, I'm starting to heat up again, like I'm starting to feel really warm again. But I was freezing, like I was roasting hot, like I felt like you could see the heat coming off me. Like, you ever seen, there's a video I saw ages ago where it was a menopausal woman and she was bald, like she purposely was bald, and you could literally see the steam coming off her hair in the cold, her head. That's why it was important that I tell you that she was bald. But yeah, so book finished, and I'm away to the doctors to ask them to send me for surgery because I don't think I'm going to be able to hold on until my surgery. Honestly, the pain is getting so bad. And it's just, I'm struggling to sleep, I'm struggling to function, especially with the fever and stuff. It's just too much. So I'm going to the doctors now, and I will get back to you. Hello, I am back from the doctors, and no surgery, no hospital visit, more antibiotics. Woo! But it does come with a caveat. So, the GP does not think that, one, surgeons will do the emergency surgery on it because, two, it basically has no flesh. They're like, there's nothing to cut. He's like, there's nothing to cut. The proper surgery that I need to have, they go in, like, round it and cut out the whole section, so I'm going to lose flesh. But currently it's like, there's not really anything for them to cut because your flesh has disappeared. I'm like, yeah. So yeah, not great. But he did confirm, my surgeon got my message that I phoned and left with his secretary. He has then written to my doctors to say that he is trying to expedite my surgery because of it. The doctor is then going to write back to acknowledge his letter and basically say, yeah, it's bad, please, please see her as quickly as possible because, we're not good. We're not in it. We can't just keep piling on, antibiotics because eventually it's going to stop working and then we'll have another antibiotic resistant bacteria floating about. So yeah, this is kind of hopefully to tide me over. Thing is, the antibiotics only work for like a month. Like, I get a 2-week course of antibiotics and then for 2 weeks I'm fine. Or is it a 1-week course? This might be a one to be taken. So yeah, it's a 1-week course of antibiotics. And then a couple of weeks later, it's back again. So hopefully that means they'll get to see me this month. It's just, I am not in a great place right now. It is so painful. I feel so sick, and the antibiotics are also going to make me feel sick. I just do not feel good. I do not feel good. I have a fever. I am ill. The doctor was like, "Can I have a look?" I said, yeah, because it's a different doctor yet again. But it's fine. You can't just go in and be like, "This is happening," and then be like, "Cool, I'll believe you." Like, they kind of have to see it. So I do get that. And he looked. He was like, "Oh yeah, yeah." And he was like, "That is like, there's definitely 2 holes." And he was like, "And it's definitely discharging, shall we say?" And yeah, it's very red. Very, very red. I'm like, yeah. Like, the area around it is very red. I'm like, yeah. I basically have an open draining wound. Which, you know, sorry, TMI. But hopefully this will help. But yeah. I also have 2 parcels that I came home to. This one, I know what it is. This should be Fury Bound. No. That's a lie. This should be Dire Bound. I have pre-ordered Fury Bound, but it doesn't come out until later. Yes, Dire Bound. Oh gosh. Oh, she chunky. She chunky. Yeah, so Dire Bound by Sybil Sorensen. This is a book that I have. Ooh, this is a book that I've already read. That is beautiful. That is gorgeous. Yes. And then, so I read this last month. Is that a map? It is indeed a map. And I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. So I decided to get myself a copy and get myself pre-order a copy of Fury Bound, which is the second one. Here is, oh my goodness, the inside art. And this is a moment that I know what it is. I've read it. If you've not read it, it doesn't really make sense. Obviously, it's her meeting one of the wolves. I really enjoyed this. I really, really did. I've also ordered myself a copy of Quicksilver and Brimstone. Because I thought about it, I've slept on it, and I would like copies of the books, but I got those second hand from Vinted because somebody was selling their special editions. So the ones that have got the like foiled edges, so like Quicksilver is silver and then Brimstone is like an orangey, bronzy colour. So I've ordered that from Vinted, which is really nice. I'm looking forward to that coming. And this should be my favourite edition of Riggins and Bread Knives. So that's the only thing I'm aware of that's coming from Fairy Loot. I think the only other thing I've got ordered from a bookish box company is my Illumicrate Bridgertons, which would obviously be in a much bigger box. So I've got a little bookmark from Fairy Loot. And then, yeah, Riggins and Bread Knives. Okay, there we go. Again, we've got the holographic. That's not coming up as well. The holographicness of it is not coming up as well on camera as it does to my eyes. And the rainbow edges. What have we got? Oh, it's signed. I did not know it was going to be signed. There's nothing under the like behind the dust jacket. It's just white. But we have this, and then edges. So this is, I think I've said this before, I think this is the Goblin from Goblins and Greatcoats, which then makes more sense when you read this book. But yeah, I didn't know it was going to be signed. I don't know if the others are signed, but this looks like a tip-in. This is very much a tip-in sheet. So, yeah, I think this is something that I would definitely prefer on a reread, but it was not my favourite in the series. I think Legends and Lattes is still my favourite in the series, but I do love me some Satchel from book 2. So, there is that. But yes, 2 new books. I'm such a lucky girl. I'm also very appreciative that Fairy Loot sends things, not even just in boxes, but in bubble wrap, like sealed bubble wrap, because that Fairy Loot box went into my storage box, like parcel storage box, yesterday, and I forgot it was there. So that has been sitting out there all night, and the box is damp. Like, it feels damp because it's been sitting outside. It's been raining for about a month. You think I'm joking? I'm not. I think Troy looked it up, or it was reported, and as of last week, for the whole of January, February, up until last week, Aberdeen had had 2 minutes of sunlight. It has literally been raining for at least like 2 or 3 weeks now. Just constantly raining. So yeah, everything is damp, everything is saturated, and the box is just a plastic box. Like, it's not meant for like long-term storage. It's meant for things to go in and then get picked up. So yeah, it is damp. Like, this is damp. But it was protected by the plastic, fortunately. Right, I'm gonna go set up my antibiotic schedule because I need alarms set. Luckily, I didn't turn them off from last time. So, woo. Okay, I'm going to watch some YouTube before I decide what to read next and what I'm doing next. Hello, it is Wednesday. I thought it was Thursday earlier, but I'm sad to discover that it is in fact Wednesday. Today is usually... My fringe is not working. Today is usually my gym day, but I'm not going to go to the gym today for various reasons. One being I'm still sore from last week, which is not normally an excuse I would use. But two, with this infection that's happening in my like area that needs surgery, I am feverish. I am sore. I'm not sleeping well. I am not doing great. So that's the main reason. But also I had to get I need to get Kate to turn the box around. We've got a parcel box for parcels, funnily enough. And she's turned it, so Kay's turned it so that the wind doesn't open it up, which makes perfect sense. I'm not criticising. It was really like when we get storms, the wind hits the side of the house really badly and it opens up the box and it just then rains inside the box. So she's turned it round so that it opens out away from the wall, but that then means that I can't get into it properly and I've just pulled my hip. And now I'm in a lot of pain because my hip's not sitting in the socket right. Trying to get stuff out of the fucking box. So yeah, I'm not in a place to be successfully gymming. But it's mainly the infection because I'm just not up for much. Like, I feel sick, I've got a headache. And now I've got to go and make bolognese in the slow cooker, which I don't want to do, but I do want to do. It'll be fine. But yeah, book-wise, I did start The Things We Leave Unfinished. I'm 30 pages in, and the first 2 chapters are from the point of view of the, like, now period, the present time, male and female character, and then chapter 3 switches to July 1940. So, because it switched over, I decided last night to go to bed. I went to bed early. I went to bed at like 10 o'clock. Because, like I say, I'm not feeling good. I'm not sleeping well. Trying to sleep with a fever is not great. Like, I said this yesterday, it's almost like I can see the heat radiating off me. But yeah, I need to go throw everything in the slow cooker to make bolognese because the meat is going to go off if I do not do it. And it's got tomorrow's date on it, so I would rather get it in now. But I really don't like... Kay got me one of those pressy things for cutting vegetables, so like it's got a box and then it's got the lid on it, and the lid has like the little choppy thing, so it's got like a grid of knives and then effectively, and then you just push the top down and it pushes it through, which is so much easier for me. It does like kind of thingy, but it's not too bad. It's quite good for being able to help me because I can't. But the problem is I need to peel carrots, and I'm very bad at peeling carrots. Like, it cramps my hands and stuff, and I can't hold it properly, and I catch myself. It's just, me and carrots, we're not friends. But that's the hardest thing about everything else just needs dumped in, which is fine. So I'm gonna go do that now before I can talk myself out of it. I just realised I took a snack to work and I left the snack in the fridge. Oh well, snack tomorrow. Hola. Sorry, Dora. I feel like hell still. I think I'm gonna go to bed. It is 9:20. I'm so glad I didn't go to the gym because I would be in not a good place right now. I'm not in a good place, but I'd be even worse. I just wanted to pop in and say that I'm on page 71 of this book. It is The Things We Leave Unfinished. And I can pretty much tell this is gonna wreck me. Because there's 2 different romances happening at the same time. Not at the same time, like concurrently in the story. So one is Georgia and Noah, I'm assuming. It is a romance novel, so I'm assuming they're going to end up falling for each other. Currently, they're not big fans of each other. They're attracted to each other, but she thinks he's an awful writer and doesn't want him to ruin her grand's manuscript. And he just, like, she's obviously, like, being quite rude to him. So he's like, well, up yours. So they don't like each other currently. But then in the 1940s, I think it is literally 1940. Yeah, August 1940. I think the one before that was like June or July 1940. It is following the story of her gran, who was in the Women's Auxiliary Air Force, which, by the way, you have no idea how much I love the Women's Auxiliary Air Force. There is an author that I love. If you've been on the channel for a while now, you will know that I absolutely love Elizabeth Wine. And she writes, or the books, all of her books that I have are all about women in the Women's Auxiliary Air Force. And I love it. Well, not all of them. So, Courtney Verity and Rose Under Fire are a direct duology. So, those two follow each other but switch characters. So the first one follows Maddie and Queenie, and then the second one follows Rose, but Maddie is still in the book. Like, Maddie is a pilot, Queenie is not a pilot. She is an asset. And Rose is also a pilot in the next one. So it goes between the two pilots. With Queenie as well. So Rose is in the next one, and it follows her. And then the Pearl Thief. So Rose and Maddie are both WAAF, Women's Auxiliary Air Force, and during World War II pilots. And then the Pearl Thief follows Queenie before World War II, so her kind of backstory. Her and her brother Jamie, who we also see in the other two books. And then there's another book, and I can't remember what it is. The Enigma Code, is it called? It's something to do with codes. I think it's called the Enigma Code, where this girl goes to be I think she's black. I want to say she's black. And she goes to be like a carer, companion for this German woman in Scotland. And she, again, this is a prequel because she meets Jamie, so it kind of goes in between the Pearl Thief and during what happens during the first book, which is Courtney Verity, because we find out in that book that Jamie gets injured, and there's like worry about Jamie, and then in that book you find out in the Enigma Code, I'm pretty sure that's what's called, I might be wrong, you find out how Jamie gets injured, like you're with Jamie, or she talks to Jamie directly after it happens, so like you get the full story of what happens to Jamie, so that kind of happens in there. And then Firebird follows a Russian pilot who is on trial. I don't know if this is connected or not, but she's on trial after World War II for deserting. So basically, our plane went down over enemy lines, and she, like, I can't remember exactly what happened to her, but basically, like, Russian pilots were not meant to come back. If you went over and crashed over enemy lines, you were not supposed to come back because you were seen as a traitor. That is a real, like, stripped back nutshell what I can remember from reading a book years ago. But she's on trial for being a traitor to the country after crash landing over enemy lines in her plane. So yeah, all the books are generally about pilots or female pilots, because Jamie is also a pilot. So Jamie was a fighter pilot, an actual fighter pilot. Maddie is Women's Auxiliary Air Force. Rose is Women's Auxiliary Air Force. Queenie is like an asset. And the other girl, whose name I can't remember because it was ages. I want to say I can't with an F. See, I'm just making stuff up now. Yeah, so it's all intertwined. And this has given me that sort of feeling. So this is what I love about this. So Scarlett, who's the grandmother, or great-grandmother really, is in the Women's Auxiliary Air Force. And she has just met a pilot called Jameson, who is an American pilot who has come over before the Americans got involved in the war, because they didn't get involved until the last minute. along with the Canadians. They've come over as volunteers to help the RAF. So he's currently an RAF pilot, and she is WAF. And I just know that their story is going to be unbelievably tragic, because he is a pilot during World War II, and it's just set up to be heartbreaking. There's things dropped in, like Georgia, who's the main character in the present timeline, like he has just said to her, don't worry, I'll make sure they have a happy ending. And she was like, yeah, that's not what you're going to do. Because she knows they didn't have a happy ending and it's going to destroy me. Like, her grand's only just died this year, or like the year before. And her, Jameson, I don't think she ever met him. So I think he died before they were, like, I think he died before she was born. I don't know this, I'm just guessing. Because she knows a different granddad Brian. So I want to say that I think that Jameson dies. That is my supposition. I don't actually know this. I just know that I think this is going to be tragic and is going to break my heart. So, yeah, I am reading it slowly, mostly because I am feeling rough. I've hurt the shoulder and this hip, so like the whole right side of my body is like doing that weird numb sore thing, because the joint kind of came out a little bit and went back in on both sides. Tried to pick up a parcel at a funny angle. Don't do it, kids. I thought I was getting away with my shoulder. I thought I was fine, but it's starting to hurt now, so yeah. And I've also slipped a rib on this side. So I'm doing great. I think what I'm going to do is going to go to bed and I'm going to listen to Quicksilver. Or I might just watch more Hell's Bells. I'll take my earphones upstairs, and if I want to listen to Quicksilver, I will. If not, I'll watch Hell's Bells. I've been catching up with Hell's Bells. I've been re-watching Hell's Bells, as I've said multiple times. But Quicksilver is not on my TBR. I keep saying Quicksilver, don't I? Brimstone, which is book 2 to Quicksilver. I've got the audio for that through Libby, and I would quite like to listen to it, because I only have 10 days left in the hold, and it's a 24-hour book, 25-hour book. So, yeah, I should get cracking with that, shouldn't I? Although it's Thursday, my body unfortunately thinks it's Friday, which is not good, because tomorrow is Friday, so I have to do another day at work, and I don't want to. But I've just watched the final episode of Percy Jackson and the Olympians season 2, because when I decided to binge it, I miscalculated and all but the last episode were out. So then I never got round to it, because I never got round to it, and I was kind of annoyed that the last episode wasn't out. So I've just watched it, and now I just want to reread Percy Jackson again. I'm not even finished my last reread. I'm pretty sure. So I reread Percy Jackson and Heroes of Olympus, and I'm then due to go on to Trials of Apollo. But I've read the new Percy books, and I've read The Sun and the Star and that sequel. So I think it could be okay just to reread, but I mean, it's obviously going to be okay to reread Percy Jackson. I've only read Trials of Apollo once, because it's not my favourite, but I'm so tempted just to, just chuck out the TBR and reread Percy Jackson again. Because why not? Why not, eh? I think I'm going to watch an episode of, but there's The Martian. No, I should try and watch an episode of Grey's Anatomy, because I'm only on season 18. There's 22, 23 seasons now. And I'm still on season 18. I'm watching it for the first time. So, yeah. I should try and actually watch more. Because Hamish is about to push that door open, isn't he? I've been so focused in on reading that I've just been not watching things for years. And I'm so behind. I'm behind on Grey's. I've not finished Supernatural yet. I've not seen Thunderbolts, or I'm not actually seen anything past... not Captain America. Oh, what's her name? The one with Brie Larson. That's terrible. I'm sure it's something America. I've not seen Deadpool vs. Wolverine. I'm scrolling through the Disney Plus catalogue. I've not watched I want to rewatch Castle. I've not done that. I've not watched the People We Meet on Vacation. I've not even finished Private Practice. I've not finished my rewatch of Ghost Whisperer, even though I'm on the last season. Like, there's so much that I have started watching, or rewatching, and I've just not done it because I've been like, oh, but then I'll get behind on reading. Maybe I just need to stop, like, focusing so much. I've not seen Captain America: Brave New World. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like I say, not seen Thunderbolts. Not seen the new Guardians. Is that 2 different Deadpool and Wolverines, or is it just 2 different things? I've not seen Wakanda Forever. I've not seen Wakanda Forever because I know it's going to make me cry. But yeah, I need to get a list of, like, I've not seen the new Fantastic Four. I need to get a list of the Marvel movies in order so that I can go back and see where I'm up to. And then if I've not watched, I didn't even finish Loki. I don't think it really matters. Like, I know there's a general through line, but I think at this point in time, I could probably just jump into any of them. I wanted to rewatch Back to the Future. I have so much that I want to watch or rewatch, and I've just not, basically. And I think I need to actually spend some time doing that, because it is something, like, I am switching back to 911. I want to watch Chicago Fire and Chicago Med and, like, all those ones, and whatever the spin-off of Grey's Anatomy with the fire department EMTs are. Like, I've barely seen anything I want to watch. So yeah, I need to actually get together. Anyway, I don't know why you don't care. Last night I managed to get to about 15% through Brimstone. I am still on page. I've not read any more of The Things We Leave Unfinished. I'm on chapter 6, page 71. So I will probably read some of that later. Like I said, I'm 15% into Brimstone. And yeah, I don't know if it's going to be much of a reading weekend or just a watching weekend. Maybe just some binge watching. I've not even seen Moana 2. I need to go through my Disney Plus and, like, add things to my list that I can ignore. Hello, it's Friday. It is Friday, actually, this time. For real, this time. And I just got a letter through from the hospital. I got all excited because I was like, oh my god, my appointment, finally. Like, my appointment. My mouth's not working today. And I opened it, and nope, it was just a letter to be like, got your message from my secretary. We're trying to expedite you. I appreciate that he's trying to keep me, like, up to date at every step. Super, super appreciate that. But, like, when I'm on tenterhooks waiting for this appointment, that was like, that just enraged me a little bit. Oh my god, I also, broken nail. I also got a package. This is well wrapped. I'm gonna have to try and struggle to get through. This should be my editions of Quicksilver and Brimstone. So I'm gonna have to very carefully cut into that. Definitely the seller took care of that one. I managed to get this much tape off. It was just one slice of tape, and I was like, amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go get something else to actually cut through all this. But I'll show you them once I've got them out. Okay, this might be the weirdest vintage parcel I have ever received. I'm not gonna lie. So I'll show you the books first. So here is Brimstone with the gilded edges, and then Quicksilver again with the gilded edges. These actually look better than they did on the listing. So, like, I'm actually really chuffed with that. Yeah, so unfortunately, I do think the person who was selling them is a smoker. And lives with the smoker, because that's all I can smell in it. But it also came with a bag of stuff. So there's a 2026 diary, 2 heart-shaped carabiners, which I needed carabiners, funnily enough, so that's really well timed. I wouldn't call it a wrist strap, because it's like a wrist strap for a toddler. Like a little grabby. It says, "You are loved, you are valuable, you're beautiful." And it's pink. I mean, I'm sure I could use that for something. And then some pins. So it's a pumpkin spice latte, I'm assuming, or frappuccino, I don't know, and the K-pop Demon Hunter girls, which I'm assuming that'll be going to Vicky because I've not even watched it yet. And then this, which is a single tissue, says for the happy tears and the sad ones too, like just a random tissue, and then a stack of diamond art. Like I'm starting to think I might have got someone else's order shoved in with mine by accident, because like, just who sends this much? Oh, you can't see it. Like, who sends this kind of like, everything's upside down. And I also assume they have a white cat because there's white fur everywhere. Like, literally, why would you send me that? Like, this was all in a separate bag inside the, I don't even know what this is. Cabbage, some corn. I picked, like, what? That would be good for Chloe if she wasn't in the States. Like, they're very nice. They're very cool. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, why did you send me all this at the same time? This is very strange. Yeah, I feel like I might have got somebody else's order, so we'll have to maybe see about that. It was just in the bag that it was in wasn't sealed or anything. It was just in a bag and on top of my stuff, on top of the books I ordered. All I ordered was the books. And I paid less than what I would pay for just one of the books. So, but I'm very happy with the carabiners because I actually really needed carabiners because my keys have been like falling off stuff. It's really quite annoying, like falling off my key ring because I've got them hooked onto like. It's not been great. So yeah, carabiners very needed, but yeah, very strange. I can now tell you how many pages. I'm just knocking stuff over. I am now like 33% of the way through Brimstone. I can tell you now. So I'm on page 223. No, 233 of Brimstone. So I'm like a third of the way through. This is, I've still got like 8 hours of the audiobook left because I've been listening to it on audiobook. Goodness. This is a thick book. I just want to see what the art is on the page. Show me. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know what's on the inside of this. Oh, it's the fox. It's Onyx. I love the fox. His name's Onyx. He's so cute. His little black tips of his ears and tail. Right, so that'll need to get added to my spreadsheet, but luckily not really hitting my TBR. I don't know why I just keep flapping with this. Oh, I'll put there we go. Hold that on there just now. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out what's going on with that, but I'm going to get some lunch and feed Hamish, so. Hello, it is Sunday. No, it is, well, technically it's Sunday, but this is Saturday's vlog clip. And I have basically spent the day just beasting through the things we leave unfinished. I don't I don't know how I feel about this book because I couldn't stop reading, but I kept flip-flopping between caring about it and not caring about it. Like, I considered DNFing it so many times, but I wanted to find out what happened. So I don't know how I feel about this. The ending kind of caught me out a little bit, so heavy. Did not. I never, at no point during this book, at no point did I see where it was going. That's a lie. There was one thing I knew was going to happen. There was one thing that is probably not what you think it is, because it's to do with a different character, that I knew was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. So when that happened, I was the least surprised in the whole thing. But yeah, I finished it. I think I really enjoyed it. I need to stop reading World War II historical fiction romances because Wartime romances are just so upsetting. But at the same time, oh my god. Like, wow. Yeah, so I finished that. I am now, I think we've already discussed this on a different point. I'm 354 pages through Brimstone. I am still listening to the audiobook. I'm not listening to the audiobook at all today. I've literally just been, like, I've been watching YouTube, and yesterday I didn't really do. Yesterday I listened to Brimstone and then watched Grey's Anatomy. I'm fairly on season 19. And by the way, just a side note for the Grey's Anatomy, Harsham Jr. does not age. In fact, I said to my mum, I think he's aging backwards, which is rude. But yeah, I spent today just reading this book, amongst doing other things like washing and watching YouTube. But yeah, that was, I don't even know what to think. I think I'm going to go to bed because it's past 1 a.m. And my light went out to tell me it was 1 o'clock. So I think I'm going to go to bed and see how we go on tomorrow. I don't know if there's sprints tomorrow, but hopefully I can get Brimstone finished. I don't know. I filmed with my phone, so I don't know why I did that. I should be about halfway through, so it was 24-ish hour audiobook, so I should have, 12-ish hours, which I listen at 2 times speed, so 6-ish hours. I don't know if I've got more than that read. I don't know. And I need to pick a new physical read to read, so that'll be interesting. I probably will read Hang the Moon, because I think it looks like the next longest book in my TBR. Anywho, I'm going to go to bed, so I'll speak to you tomorrow. Hello, it is Sunday. As you can see, I'm showered and ready to go to bed. It is almost midnight, which is later than I would like to be up, but I slept in today, so it's fine. But I've just finished Brimstone. I did not expect to finish Brimstone today, but I managed to get through it. I really enjoyed this. This is the sequel to Quicksilver, and I was a bit funny about Quicksilver, just because I feel like the single POV did not do justice. It really, really needed Kingfisher's POV to actually help with the story. This one did have his POV, as well as Ceres, and it just really made the difference. It really, really made the difference. The story, the characters, the twists and turns and new information that you get about the worlds is just, it was fantastic. I really, really liked this. I actually really, really liked this. I think I'm starting to find the fantasy that I enjoy. Like, I don't like a fantasy where you have to build up this whole world, but there's not much of a world to build up here. I also don't normally like fae fantasy, but again, I think it's to do with more of the world building. Like, these aren't, they do have courts, they do have the different courts, but it's not like the Seelie and the Unseelie court. It's not like Seelie type fae. They do have different fae courts, but it's not, you don't spend time in the courts, and I think that's a part of my problem with a lot of the fae stuff. It's that it revolves around the courts. This does revolve around a lot of the nobles, though. So we do get a lot of noble stuff, but they're not the trickster type fae. They are. Well, they are and they aren't. They are the type of, they are bounded by the fae rules that they cannot lie. They literally can't utter a lie, so they learn to talk around the truth, which is, very politician of them, but not in the way that, you see a lot of the other fae, the fae stories are, tricking people into deals and stuff because of the way they speak and everything. This isn't that. It's just so happens that they can't lie, and they will talk around the truth if they don't want someone to know something, or they'll say, can't answer that. I don't want to answer that. So, and I really, really am enjoying this. I cannot wait for I think the third one's the last one, and that's going to be interesting after everything we've learned in this. Yeah, I think because this follows the characters so much, you've got different points of mystery. You're trying to find out what's happening in the realms. You've got the consequences of what happened in the last book. You've got the mystery of Kingfisher's past, or different aspects of Kingfisher's past, and other people, other characters. It just fits so well for me. I don't know how to talk about this without spoiling it, because obviously it's a sequel, but it is so different from Quicksilver. Quicksilver follows Ceres, who ends up opening a portal. She's like, in this city where the people are treated horribly. It has there are two suns, and there's never night. And they live in this desert, and their water is rationed by their queen, who likes to see herself as benevolent, but actually she's a total bitch. And Ceres is a little bit of a thief, and so she steals one of the guards' plated gold gauntlets. Try to say gold gauntlet without messing it up. It was difficult there. And she ends up being taken prisoner by the queen, and accidentally opens a portal to the Fey realm that has been closed for thousands of years. And so this hulking great Fey warrior comes through and takes her back with him, along with the sword that had closed the portal in the first place. And again, I think Quicksilver would be so much better if you had Kingfisher's point of view, because a lot of his motivations don't make sense if you're reading the book from just Ceres' point of view. Which, I mean, it also means that she's like, what the hell do you think? Like, you're with her in the sense of, like, I don't understand what's going on with this guy, because it's like whiplash. The one thing I don't like about these books, and I think it's just a me thing, is that they don't use the term man and woman, because they are Fae, they're not humans, and that's a human term, and so they refer to them as male and female, and there's just something about the way it's used, like, this male, it's like, I don't like it. It doesn't hit my ear right. It doesn't, I don't know why. I'm unsure why. It's not a criticism. It just, for some reason, doesn't hit my ear right. But yeah, so she then gets embroiled in Fey politics. And kind of, not really, but kind of. But yeah, I thought I was going to have a problem with Callie Hart reading this book, but thankfully we skirted around the problem, so it was fine. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. I'm really looking forward to the third one, which comes out in November. So it is currently February, so 9 months? 9 months for the new book. I will pre-order it once the gilded version comes out. This was nice because I managed to get these on Vinted for, like, the 2 books plus the postage was less than what I'd pay for one book if I bought it new. So, buy things second hand, folks. Buy things second hand. Right, I'm going to go to bed. I've redid all my meds. I've got 2 days worth of antibiotics left. I need to go put this. I need to go put my antibiotics actually in my bag, because this is tomorrow's lunchtime dose that I take at work. This is my morning dose, and then I think I've only got one more evening dose. So I've got one more evening dose. So I've got Monday morning, Monday afternoon, Monday evening, Tuesday morning, and then I'm done with antibiotics. Do I feel like it's done much? Arguments can be made for no. So, yeah. But I feel so crap. I've not been to the gym this week because I have felt so awful because of this infection. I don't know if it's the infection that's been making me feel sore. Like, all my muscles really, really hurt. Like, my pain has been worse than just about ever. Other than a flare-up, my general level of pain has been worse than ever. And I don't know if that's gym-related. I don't know if it's weather-related. I don't know if it's stress-related. I don't know if it's to do with the fact that my immune system's obviously hauling ass because I've got this infection. But everything hurts, and I'm just getting no relief from it. So that's great. I'm loving that. But we'll just have to see. I'm still waiting on my surgery letter. Obviously, I wasn't going to get a letter at the weekend. I don't think I'm going to get a letter anytime soon. So I'm just going to have to keep chugging along. But I'm going to go to bed. If you want to let me know you were here and you don't want to sit and write a comment, if you just want to leave the hospital emoji, or a doctor emoji or something along those lines, just to manifest me getting my surgery some point soon. because I really, really need this surgery. I am on the struggle bus. Actually, I'm under the struggle bus. I've been hit by the struggle bus, and it's just dragging me at this point. Like, George, whatever his name is. If you know, you know. If you don't, I've not spoiled anything, so, you know. But yeah, so I'm going to go to bed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!